Hi there, Janet with Paper and Spark here. Today we're going to chat about Etsy's new billing system, what's changed from the way it used to be, whether or not this affects your Etsy seller spreadsheet or your Etsy import add-on if you happen to be using one of those, and how to interpret the numbers that they're showing you now. I've gotten a lot of emails about what the changes mean, how to interpret the changes, how to reconcile them with the old system, what this means for using your spreadsheet if anything changes. So I just want to walk through the answers to all those questions in hopefully what will be a quick video to help you just, see everything in action and explain some of this stuff. So I finally have gotten the new dashboard rolled out to me as of yesterday, November 7th. Not everybody has it yet, but I think at least probably half of Etsy sellers have it at this point. You'll know you have it when you see a new button next to your finances. And then once you click on your payment account, if you scroll down and see these circles, then you know that you are now the lucky recipient of being on the new Etsy system. So just to put this in context, let's talk about the way that Etsy used to bill you so that you can understand what's changed now. So keep in mind that Etsy charges several different types of fees. There's really three different types of fees that Etsy charges you. The first is the credit card processing fee, and that in the US at least has been 3% of your order total plus 25 cents. So 25 cents and 3% of your order total. And they actually apply that to your order total, including shipping received, including any sales tax collected on that order, and including any VAT that might be collected on your order, which is, I'm not too up to speed on VAT, but it's sort of like a European tax on digital goods from what I understand. So 3% plus 25 cents applied to that amount is taken out of your order total at the time of sale. Previously, it never showed up on your bill. It only showed up on your Etsy order CSV right here in column Z as your credit card processing fee. If you've been using the Etsy seller spreadsheet and you import in your CSV, I've been automatically totaling that expense for you as you go, and you've been deducting that for your net profit or loss statement. So that's the first fee, the credit card processing fee. They also charge this transaction fee, which I like to call the Etsy commission. This is the thing that recently increased this summer. It's now 5% of your total sales, and it's applied to all those same numbers I just said. Your sale total, your shipping collected from your customer, sales tax collected, and VAT. So 5% of that is taken out as Etsy's transaction fee. I like to call it their commission. Finally, we have the listing fee, which is 20 cents every time you list something new or renew manually or auto renew a listing. You have that 20-cent listing fee. So those are like the three big fees that Etsy charges. Now, to understand the change in the billing system, previously, like I said, that credit card processing fee would come out immediately at the time of sale, and then Etsy would deposit your sale amount minus that credit card processing fee to your account. However often you had it set up, I think like once a week. I think you could make it daily, whatever you had wanted to do. And then you'd pay this big monthly bill for your transaction fees and your listing fees, plus any other money that you owed Etsy, like for shipping labels or advertising or promoted listings or whatever. So you'd have that big bill usually due between the 1st and the 15th of the next month for that prior month's sales. But now, if you're on the new billing system, you are now paying all those additional fees, not just the credit card processing fee, but the transaction 5% fee, the listing fees, etc. You are now paying those at the time of sale. They're basically taken out of your deposit amount, of what your deposit amount would have been at the time of the sale. So All of the same fees are still getting charged to you as on the old system. The amount of money is the same no matter which system you're on. It's just the timing that's different. And that's eye-opening for a lot of us, because when you're forced to see that money coming out at the time of sale instead of letting it accumulate as a bill, you get a little bit better of a handle on how much profit you're actually making on the sale, right? Because you're forced to see the amount that's left over after Etsy takes all their cuts from your sale item. So that's what I want you to know has really changed. It's just the timing of the payments. So let's shift gears real quick and talk about your spreadsheet. The good news is that with these billing changes, nothing has changed on the Etsy orders CSV that you import into your Etsy spreadsheet. All the columns and the amounts and everything are still the same, so you can continue using it just as per usual. I have had a few people tell me that they have had trouble finding the CSV now. It is under Settings, Options, Download Data. And then you can go here, get that order CSV for whatever month you need, and download it and import it as per usual. So Settings, Options, Download Data. That is where the CSV that you need to use your spreadsheet lives. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is how to interpret these two circles, because one of the other questions that I've gotten is that when people look at this info, they don't understand exactly what's included, what's not included, and they don't understand how it correlates to what we used to see, which was this summary on the Your Bill screen. Now that we don't have a bill anymore, we don't quite understand how this ties to what we are seeing. So let's talk about that. I'm going to take a look at September 2018 for reference sake. So here is the monthly statement for September. You've got this circle here with sales and credits, this fees and taxes circle, and then a list of all your individual activity transactions down here. Let's start by talking about sales and credits. This circle right here is basically your sales amount minus those credit card processing fees. So this is equivalent to what used to get deposited daily or weekly into your account on the old system. It's your total sales amount, including shipping paid to you, including sales tax collected, minus those credit card processing fees at 3% plus 25 cents per transaction. That is what these sales and credits mean. Then we have the fees and taxes circle over here. So this fees and taxes circle does not include the credit card processing fee that is already taken out of your sales over here. That credit card processing fee still, unfortunately, is not listed separately anywhere. The only place you can find it is if you use the Etsy seller spreadsheet and you download that Etsy order CSV. This is the only place where you're going to see and be able to easily sum up that credit card processing fee. So keep that in mind. It's not showing up over here. What is showing up over here is that 5% commission or transaction charge that Etsy has, your 20-cent listing fees, any marketing expenses, which are going to be things like Google Shopping ads, promote a listing, or targeted campaigns that you can get with Etsy. Your shipping labels, if you pay Etsy for postage, will show up here. If you pay for Pattern or Etsy Plus or Etsy Premium or whatever the heck those are called these days, that will show up here as well. The only other thing that I want to note about this weird circle is that the box is called fees and taxes. There are no taxes included here. I have yet to see a month that has any sort of taxes included in this circle. They're not including any sales taxes that they've collected from me. They're not including any of those marketplace sales tax that they're paying on the seller's behalf for states like Washington and Pennsylvania. I feel like this is a misnomer as of right now. There's no taxes showing up. I'm not sure if maybe eventually they're going to put something like that in here, but as of the time I'm recording this, I don't see any tax stuff in here. So you can think of this blob right here as the amount that you used to be billed for on a monthly basis, and it's now being taken out at the time you make a sale. So if you want to break those things down, into a list of like your sale transactions, you can look at the activity list down here. So here we have, I sold a spreadsheet. We had this transaction type fee taken out. This is Etsy's 5% cut. And then here I am receiving the actual money. This was the cost of the spreadsheet. And this fee that's taken out is that Etsy processing credit card fee. Okay, that amount that is being netted and then goes up here. So this is the total of all these sale lists, of all these sale activities, with the order total amount minus the credit card processing fee. If you totaled up all these net guys, they should equal this. And then we've got the listing fee, and then you're going to see your marketing and your shipping and all your other individual stuff right here. But that is how to interpret these guys. So finally, I want to talk about how this affects those of you that are spreadsheet users. The biggest thing that's going to change is simply that the look of these instructions need to be updated now. You can still import in that CSV as per usual, but the video and the PDF pages where I walk you through entering your bill changes because we don't have this summary of this month's activity. Basically, you can just use this circle instead. The only thing that may need to change for you could be the timing. So previously, you might have paid your bill the month after you accumulated those fees, and you may or may not have recorded your bill payment in the month that you actually had the fees, or you might have recorded it the month after if you paid it the month after. That's simply just a timing difference. Now we are paying them as we go. So what you need to do going forward is on the 1st of, say, October, when you're going update your books for September, you would enter these fees here as your Etsy fees for the month of September because they came out of your sales and you paid them in the month of September. So you'd want to go through theoretically and enter Etsy fees of this amount. I'm okay recording the entire amount, the entire $87 as the Etsy listing and transaction fees. If you have shipping here as well, you probably want to break that out separately and enter it on your yellow postage tab, which I don't have because I don't pay postage, so I just deleted mine, but you guys should have that yellow postage tab. You can enter those shipping fees separately and then enter the remaining amount as the Etsy fees. I think it's fine to lump in your marketing and your pattern and Etsy Plus or whatever else you're paying Etsy for. Just total it up and enter it here. So that's pretty much the only thing that really affects you is you're not going to see this screen anymore. You're going to base it off of this box instead. And one more thing that I want to mention, because I've had some people who are looking back at prior months and looking at what they entered on their spreadsheet and saying that this amount is different than what they entered on their spreadsheet. So what causes that difference could depend on several different things. I don't want you to freak out too bad because chances are over the course of the year, it's going to balance out because it's probably just a timing difference. Like you might have, I know with me, I'm recording these bills in the month that I paid them. So like I have $74.64 entered for April. And this is now showing up as my March statement, but I paid my March bill back in early 2018 before these changes were made. I paid that on April 1st, so that's why I ended up recording it in April. So you might just have some timing differences like that. If it's not a timing difference, it could be something that happened retroactively after you did your books and recorded that. You might see... Like you might have refunded something and got some of this transaction fee back, and that could have caused a small change. But I really wouldn't worry too much about it because the important thing is just that over the course of the year, you want this amount that you paid towards Etsy to just match the 12 the 12 monthly statements that you've got here. That's the important part. You just want to make sure that you're recording all these expenses so that you can get them in your books and deduct them on your tax return and take that good business expense deduction for your shop. So all that you really need to do from this point forward is at the end of the month with the new billing system, check out your monthly statement, see what your fees are for that month, and enter that as your Etsy listing and transaction fees in the month that you paid it, because you are paying it now during that actual month. It's coming out of your sales at the time of each and every sale. So Etsy is just totaling up the fees that you're paying that month for you with this handy little circle. So I hope that this gives you a little bit more clarity on what's going on with the new Etsy billing system. If you're having any trouble interpreting the bills that you're seeing and entering things on your spreadsheet, feel free to reach out to me, comment on the video, shoot me an email at hello@paperandspark.com, and I will work with you to hopefully walk you through it. All right, guys, I hope that makes sense. I will talk to you later. Bye.